Hello everybody, welcome to WhatCulture Gaming. I'm Scott, joined by Josh.
Hello, Scott.
Josh, my friend, I hear that the Silent Hill thing just won't die. It seems like it's still alive again.
It is, and it's back better than ever, Scott Tilford, because VGC, the Video Games Chronicle website, which is usually like really reliable when it comes to their sources and reporting on things, has done a big post on the future of Konami in general, but Silent Hill specifically, because there was a rumor doing the rounds. This is going to be me blabbering for a while because there's a lot of stuff to get through here. There was a rumor doing the rounds thanks to an interview on Games Industry Biz with the developers at Bloober Team, who have recently shipped the medium responsible for horror games like Layers of Fear and Observer and stuff like that. And they were talking up a new project they were doing, and they said, quote, "We've been working for more than a year on another gaming project, another horror IP, and we're doing this with a very famous gaming publisher. I can't tell you who, I can't tell you what the project is, but I'm pretty sure when people realize what we're working on, they will be very excited." So people have taken that quote and assumed it to be Silent Hill.
We're all so hungry for Silent Hill.
No, we just take any horror developer doing a new game. We're like, is it Silent Hill? Anyway, VGC took this and reported on it, and then also commented that their own sources have indicated that there are multiple Silent Hill projects in the works, and one is from a quote-unquote prominent Japanese developer that will be revealed in the summer, and will be kind of a departure from the previous Silent Hill game. So it's going to be a brand new take on the franchise, and will be revealed soon.
It's a team-based superhero arena shooter.
No, it can't be. It can't be. But right, before I get into the rest of the stuff, because there's a lot more to come, what would you think of Bloober Team doing a Silent Hill game? And what do you think about this idea that there's going to be a reveal in the summer and that a very prominent Japanese developer is currently working on some kind of departure Silent Hill reboot-esque thing?
Well, I guess I love the medium. I would recommend that game to everybody. That game has such old school 90s survival horror vibes, like the fixed isometric camera angles, and obviously there's the whole other world thing. It kind of felt like they were almost doing a trial run for a Silent Hill game. So if somewhere along that game's development they were, someone had an eye on them and just said it should be those guys, then I think it's in safe hands. I think, like I said, I think the medium very much channels, it's a mix of, it's nostalgia, obviously, for that old school approach to horror that I'm always curious whether younger generations even care about. Whereas for me, I think it's one of the best ways to do horror. It feels very isolating. You're just one character in this massive, framed image walking around. There's a lot of world detail. There's a lot of tension you can do around that. And you give me the tank controls. I don't care. Just give me whatever. It's give me old school horror. And so when I played the medium, there's a lot of bits in that, like I said, kind of feel like they could directly just jump straight into Silent Hill. So I think, I really like Bloober Team. I think that they've come along leaps and bounds. I think that the medium is by far their most accomplished work, because things like Observer were sort of let down in the script department. A lot of Rutger Hauer's lines in that game were a bit flat or whatever. I don't think they've knocked it out the park yet. The medium is the closest they've got. And so, I think it would be in safe hands. And I like Bloober as a team. I think their heart's in the right place, and they always seem to inject a lot of cool little ideas and characters and world building stuff into their games.
Yeah, for me, Bloober Team, it's a company that I really like, but I agree that I don't think they've made that kind of defining game that's really allowed them to break out of the horror niche, perhaps. I really enjoyed Layers of Fears, and I've really enjoyed watching them kind of grow from game to game and refine certain mechanics and build upon the foundations they're set. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to play the medium because I don't have a Series X or S at the moment, but I'm looking forward to that. For me, the big takeaway here is that it seems like Konami is finally embracing outsourcing these franchises that they own, because for so long they've kind of kept them close to their chest. And in Silent Hill's case specifically, the games we've got have been fine at best, but at worst they've just been pretty crappy imitators of the first three games. You know what I mean? There's nothing new or original really being brought to the table for a long time in this franchise.
What's the one with the blower? What's the one with the old? Is it Downpour? The one where they would ring you and then you took the foot and the controller was the phone? That was really cool.
Was that? That wasn't Shattered Memories, was it? Was that Shattered Memories?
Might be Shattered. Yeah, might be Shattered Memories. And the story sort of changed, and it had all this meta sort of stuff, and they were interacting with you. It feels like I've lost my mind, but I swear that was a real thing. It was just that it was on the Wii, but it was totally a thing.
Well, a lot of the games have some interesting ideas in them, but you can just tell that they don't have the resources or the money, in some cases the talent behind them to fully realize those ideas. But I hope being able to outsource it to other developers who are now able to put their own spin on the franchise, mess with the iconography, bring new original ideas to the table like the first 3 games did. You know what I mean? They were incredibly original, even if they were messing around in the same general pool of ideas that was established in the first game. So I'm here for this. An interesting tidbit in the VGC report, their sources claim that a few years ago, Konami actually went to other developers and asked them for pitches on how they could reboot the Silent Hill franchise. And one developer they went to was Supermassive Games, then known for Until Dawn. And they got them to pitch them a game.
Perfect.
But at that point, they weren't really, they kind of changed their mind and decided they didn't want to outsource anymore, so they turned that pitch down. But that pitch eventually transformed into the Dark Pictures anthology, which we've got little hope of so far, and The Man in Medan, which is quite cool. I like that project came from a failed Silent Hill pitch, but according to VGC again, after the failure of Metal Gear Survive and Contra Rogue Core in particular, which just both completely tanked, that's when they changed their mind and were like, right, we don't want to do any of this stuff in-house anymore, we're going to shift our...
We're bad at this.
Yeah, we're not very good at this. We're going to shift our priorities. We're going to outsource the projects. So Silent Hill, Metal Gear, and Castlevania are the franchises name dropped in this article that will continue to survive, but will be worked on by external developers and will not be done in-house. All of this, for me, it's probably years off yet, but this is a promising step for all of these great series that are currently just languishing in this Konami jail that they're currently in.
So we've got 2 potential Silent Hill games. One from a Japanese developer, but they're an unknown team. They're a sort of a known quantity, but we also have potentially Bloober doing the other one. So that was a rumor from. I mean, we've been covering Silent Hill rumors for 2 years now, but I feel like one of them a little while ago was that it was both Silent Hill, 2 Silent Hill projects were being done side by side, and one of them was a Telltale style game. So maybe that just came from all the Dark Pictures stuff. But then I guess you've also got, like you said, Metal Gear, Castlevania. But the whole outsourcing thing for that, I don't know which teams you give those games to. Obviously, the longest running rumor for Metal Gear was Bluepoint. But do you think they would be that easy? That seems like such an easy open goal, but Konami haven't done easy open goals in so long.
It's true, but maybe if they're just more interested in, just capitalizing on the IP and watching the money come in, maybe it's not their open goal to miss anymore. Maybe it's just someone else coming in and being like, well, we can do this. We've proven our track record. We've worked with you before. Just give us a shot. And I'm not gonna go full tinfoil hat. It's always sunny conspiracy theory board kind of dealio. But there was another news story doing the rounds that Sony has, in the past year, spent over $300 million on second-party investments. So that's not third-party deals where you get Spider-Man for the Avengers. This is kind of at least part funding or helping the production of exclusive titles not from their first-party studios. So this would be people like, Kojima Productions, perhaps, working on a game. So maybe some of that money has gone to, maybe a Metal Gear game or a Castlevania game. That's all conjecture on my part, but I think it would be, like you said, almost an open goal for them not to do that. We've had so many reports about how they're, searching for more and more of these exclusives and trying to partner with companies to give the PS5 a boost. And Metal Gear, historically associated with PlayStation, again, the open goals are just appearing all over the place, my friend.
Well, when Spider-Man became PlayStation exclusive, when he was going to be in the Avengers, I remember Jason Schreier tweeting if you think, I'm pretty sure it was Schreier anyway, was look, if you think that this is pretty bad, the idea of everyone's getting really annoyed over console exclusivity of a certain character or a certain entity or whatever, we've got a long future ahead of us for 2021. So it's this could be the start of a whole rollout of exclusive deals and different things, because Sony do this left, right, and center, throwing their money down for exclusive Call of Duty DLC or whatever. They need as many different reasons for you to go with PlayStation as possible. And something like the Silent Hill, the return of Silent Hill, obviously that's still attached to that to PlayStation because of PT. So for me, it makes perfect business sense. The only one that was in the way was always Konami. And obviously they're going to want to retain their IPs, make sure that their in-house teams are working on them. But when that only results in Metal Gear Survive and that terrible Contra thing, then it makes perfect sense even for them to go, God, okay, right, yeah, fine, you've broken us, you can have it, you can do it. Maybe you'll do it a bit better than us.
Well, 100%, man. Like, and I really hope it is perhaps, you know, someone like Kojima who gets the chance to make a Silent Hills. I know it's something we've talked about for many a year now about this potentially happening, but with this kind of new outsourced approach, that's not out of the realm of possibility anymore. It seems like the management at Konami has radically changed. You know, they've had that big restructuring a few weeks ago where they were changing around their gaming division. So maybe that bad blood isn't there anymore. Maybe we will get opportunities in the future. But overall, I think, you know, this sets out a kind of like summer time frame for the announcement. So hopefully we won't just be in this kind of perpetual purgatory for, you know, the next few years, constantly doing news about Silent Hill rumors, and hopefully we get something tangible about this series, you know, within the next few months.
You would hope so. If this eventually comes true, like I said, considering how long we've been, I need to look up the oldest version of this rumor that we did, but I'm sure we've been covering this since 2018. But we'll pop some champagne corks so this is finally true, if it is actually true. But let us know what you think down in the comments below of the latest batch of Silent Hill rumors, and we'll dive in. We'll do any follow-ups depending on any more things that come out in the future. For now, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com.
I've been Josh from WhatCulture.com.
I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.